Hi everyone, happy Sunday. It's Marcie Besecker. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator and I'm coming to you live as soon as I can get connected on my phone. Welcome, welcome. Today we are going to be working on a really fun project. It's called A Touch of Ink and it's a new stamp set. Let me just try to get into my chats here. Here we go. Happy Sunday, welcome. I just had the Amazon guy at the door, so I was running to get the package off my porch and back in. Hello, Denise. Hi, Bonnie. So it doesn't sit out there because I've got a lot of videos to do today. I'm going to be doing this one, and then I have my class project for the snowflakes that I'm going to be recording. So it says I don't have people, but people are chiming in, so I don't know what's going on, but YouTube might be a tad behind. So I'm excited to work on another project with some new items. I'm going to take a drink as I ran to the door. Hi, Felicia. Welcome. Please say hi and where you're from. If it's your first time, I would love to hear from you. So I'm going to do a quick update for you guys. I told you the other day that I suggested this for our new blend brushes. And I loved the idea that it sits up on top of my ink. I use this Stampin' Storage inks holders. Oh, Sally, I do too. I just love my time with you guys. It's so much fun. My husband's like, what are you doing today? I said, I'm doing my videos. All right, of course. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll go snowboarding. So he went snowboarding. Okay, so we got it. It was supposed to come yesterday, but I got it Thursday. So on Thursday, I did a video. Oh, Edith, thank you. Welcome. Hello, Stephanie. Hi, Carol. Kathy. So when we got it, the brushes didn't fit because our handles, as I told you, one of the things I love about our blends is that our handles are a little bigger. I think that these are a little sturdier. They're not so bendy. And so I'm loving these versus I have two other brands and I just love these better. The problem was when I bought our little brush caddy here that I wanted to get for our brushes, because as I mentioned, the round one, I do have the round one, but when you pick it up and you move it, the whole bottom part falls off. It's not connected. And so then the brushes are dangling inside their little holes. And then you have to try to like get them all back in or take them all out and start over. And it's really a pain. So I wanted something different that's just kind of a way and I could just grab the color I want. And so this is what I did. So this is, it came and it's just going to go like this so I can see the color from the back because obviously once these start getting darker, they may look purple or whatever. And so I want to have one for every color. And now, of course, I was able to buy 3 for on stage because I participated in that. And then I was able to get 3 because demonstrators are able to purchase the new stuff now. Oh, good, Bonnie. Francie, you're not that late. We're just starting. So, but I have to tell you, I told you on my last video that the holes were a little bit small and the handles would not fit in them. And so what I did, my husband, of course, said, let's just Dremel it. So we took it was $9, $9.99 for this. So it was worth it for me to give it a try. And so Dremeled it out. My husband even put little Sharpie marks. I don't know why, but he put Sharpie marks so I knew where to Dremel too. And so now they fit perfectly fine. You will have to Dremel the bottom ones out just a little bit too because even the bottom, they're a little whiter than, and of course this is made for makeup, right? So anyway, I just wanted to show that to you. I'm really happy with it. So we're just going to set that over there. The other thing I told you, I tried one of my little cases to put my mini messages in. So my mini messages, I told you I was going to cut one up. So here's the one that's just a solid one. And then I did purchase a second one and I did cut it up. And actually, I used one of my older pairs of my snibs, and they cut perfectly. So I was just super happy the way they cut, and they're just perfect. So I kind of liked having another one cut up, and to me it's worth it. But I also put all my tabs in one of these boxes, and let me tell you why. I didn't think about it at the time, but to my left I have a drawer, and I kind of have just started it. I don't have a lot in here yet, but this one is called Blank Label Mini Messages. And then these have sentiments on white. So if I already have them, like the ones I'm going to already cut out. I'll tell you in a minute, Felicia. I don't know what it's called, but I'll explain it to you in just a second. So anyway, I did birthday, I did sentiments, white labels. So this one is just white of anything other than the mini messages. And then I have the ones that are already done. I did separate if they're birthday. I printed them, you know, if I had extras or whatever, I just put them in here. So that kind of helps me to just kind of reach over and grab a sentiment that's ready to go. Hi Olivia. And I also have one for leaves, for flowers, for love and hearts, thank you. And Forever Greenery has its own. I have colored labels. So if I cut them out in color, and I have some labels left over. So anyway, that's just a helpful tool that I use. And I forgot I'm going to be using this one, so I'm going to keep it out. So those are my helpful little tips for the day. Felicia, it is kind of, I'm going to draw it for you because I don't know what they are. My husband's like, he wants to give everybody a Dremel for Christmas this year. He just thinks that's the go-to thing. It's the one that looks like this. It's kind of a like a Q-tip looking one. So that's kind of the one we used. And so that way it didn't go too wide too quickly, and I just kind of angled it the way I wanted it. So I hope that helps. Hi Lisa, hi Barbara. I'm looking over here, hoping I don't miss anybody, but hi everybody. Hi Cynthia. Hello Steph. Okay, so let's get busy. So we're gonna do a lot of different techniques. This is the card we're gonna do today. So I wanted it because we have this gorgeous stamp set of A Touch of Ink. And these are sale-a-bration items, okay? Now, the painted texture 3D folder, you must get this. Hi, Julie. So remember when I used the old world paper embossing folder for snow, for, you know, a lot of different things. You could use this also, the painted texture. In fact, I did do it as snow on another card, and I don't have it right here. But yes, I did use this for snow, and an amazing folder. So I wanted this to look like a painting. And so I was actually requested to use the set, so I did. So I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to change up the bow. I did the ribbon. This is the snowflake ribbon. I finally got more in for my online class. And so I wanted to tie in the Rococo Rose. So I tied it in and colored this with Rococo Rose. But I just think I'm going to do something a little bit different. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so we're going to create this card. And so there's a lot of different techniques and steps on it. And so let's just get busy. All right, so first what we're going to do is we are going to cut our card base. And I did a couple things ahead of time. So we have Bermuda Bay is the card base. All right, and then I have my Whisper White for my back panel, and this is the one that we're going to emboss here. Oh, I gotta make sure I pulled out my ink. Yes, I did. So this is the one we're going to emboss here, and we're going to do some gilded foil. I have all the products now to be able to do the gilded foil. And don't forget, how you do the bow again. Oh, yes, I will. Kathy, please remind me, and I will show you how I do, like my regular double loop or triple loop bow. Is that what you're saying? This is just a regular tied bow. But if you want the double or triple bow, yes, I'll show you. So this is what we're going to use back here, and we are going to use the gilded foil, and so we're going to show you that. All right, and then we need our top panel, and the top panel for the Bermuda Bay is it's 3 3/4 by 4. Okay, so it's going to go just about like this on there. And then what I did is you're going to notice on here, it's lighter on the top and darker. I didn't blend it. I used our new Oh So Ombre, and this is sale-a-bration paper also. And so we have the sale-a-bration stamp set and the sale-a-bration paper. All right, so for this, I'm going to need 3.5 by 3 3/4. So let's cut that out. And I want the long one to go this way, so we're going to go 3.5 this way. I always cut the shorter first. That way I can save more over here. 3.5. Make sure I held that down. And, oops, wait, was that 3 3/4 or 3.5? Yes, now I need 3 3/4, the long way. Yep. 3 3/4. So now I have this beautiful ombre sky. Thank you, Francie. All right, so I'm keeping my pieces here. I'm actually going to cut up. I don't want that for the bottom of the inside of the card just because it's kind of plain. And so yes, I am going to cut this up. And so I'm going to cut some of the dark off. And I can always use the back of this for a sentiment or something, or turn it over. I've got a lot there to use. So now this, I'm going to go 4 inches because that will go on the inside of my card on the bottom. And I'm just going to do 1 inch just to kind of tie the inside of the card to the outside. So there we go. Keeping my little pieces. And let's see. So we're going to do some stamping. Let me grab I always have a stack. I shouldn't say always, but I usually have a stack of cards that are already cut for the inside. So we're going to go ahead and adhere that. So let's just do that now, although it kind of looks a little, let's see. I'm going to measure it, make sure it looks okay, and not, it's off a tad, so let me fix it. Otherwise it's going to bother me. So let's do 1 inch at the top, 1 inch at the bottom, and I think I just didn't hold this down well enough. Well, that was the skinniest little sliver you've ever seen, but it made a difference to me. So let's adhere that. And set this aside. That way I don't, see, I almost started cutting that wrong piece. And we'll just put this on here. All right. And it's going to go over a tiny bit and just cut it off. How is everybody today? In California, we're going to close down again. No hair, no, I'm going to grow my hair long again. Yay. All right. Oh, Julie, the 3D folder is so nice. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some fun coloring. So on the stamp set, you're going to get the outline images and you're going to get the inside images. And then all these really cute sentiments here. There's a lot of really fun sentiments there. Best wishes, thank you so much, hope, love, thinking of you, and hello friend. Then you've got this little butterfly or hummingbird flutter speckles, and then you have a little small leaf here, And again, flower, leaves, and hummingbird. So let's get busy. Move some of my poor stuff out of the way here. I'm trying to pull on other machines. Oh my gosh, you guys, just to recap, the little mini boss is amazing. Love, 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 love it. Okay, I'm going to bring in my piercing mat here. And we are going to start our stamping. So make sure you have your daubers. And we are going to pull out Bermuda Bay and Granny Apple. So we have our hummingbird. I think yesterday or the other day I called my poor little dragonfly a butterfly. I know the difference, but for whatever reason I decided it was a butterfly, and it clearly wasn't. All right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do the light color first. I think they said it was released today. That's what my husband said, that it was supposed to be released. My husband also said that he heard, not sure if this is true or if it was some radio station that said, wouldn't it be cool if we did this or whatever, but he had said something about, they were saying, how about no stimulus check? You can pick up your stimulus check when you get your vaccine. I don't like to get into all that stuff, but there's going to be so many weird things going on. Okay, so I'm going to do the light color first, and I'm going to go on the tips of the little, I'm just adding it here and there. So his little wings and his tail, and again, this is Granny Apple, and then I'm going to go on his face and down his belly. And you want it kind of dark, so just kind of really get it on there. So that's that. So that's the Granny Apple green. And then I'm going to go to my Bermuda Bay as soon as I can find it. And make sure you don't stick it on the wrong pad, because I've done that. All right, and then you're going to just really daub it up along the green. It'll help blend it by using the dauber. The dauber's darker, so there's really no worry if you get a little green on it. Okay, so by doing this, you're also blending the lines. All right, I'm going to bring you in a little bit because we're going to be doing some kind of close work here. All right, see if I get my light a little better for you. Okay, so now I kind of huff on it always. Just kind of get it moist. And go here. Now, remember when you're doing this, when you do the black outline for the hummingbird, he's going to have his beak sticking out. So think of that when you're doing things. Like the flower is going to have the stem on the bottom, and the leaves are going to have a little more stem. So just kind of think about where you're going to have the black outline. Where is that going to go? Oh, I just stuck my fingers right in the ink. All right. Okay, so we're gonna, I know I was just telling my friend the other day, won't it be nice when we don't have to wear the masks anymore and just do our thing? All right, I'm not gonna do the black yet while I've got these colors open. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. And I just do the Granny Apple. I did try to add a little bit of blue in because I like leaves with some blue. The reason I chose not to is the background's blue. The bird has some blue, you know, okay, I'm trying to think of where my stem's gonna go here. I might need another piece of paper for the flowers, but that's okay. All right, so see how it has the shading and how this all has that distinctive look? I love it because it does all the work for us. All right, let me just set that aside. Okay, and now I'm going to do the black on these first because I want to make sure I have enough room for the flower. And why can't I find my bird? Oh, he's already here. Okay, so we're going to do our bird. Yeah, I'm tired of masks. I do it out of respect for everybody else. I know there's people out there that are you know, worried about it, have not, I shouldn't say worried about it, everybody's worried about it, have more susceptible to, you know, health issues or whatever. And that's fine. I think everybody should do what they need to do. I will say the part for us here in California is they are closing down everything, and all these small businesses are just, it's just so, so sad. Walmart can stay open, but a small store that's, you know, owned, personal owned, or big restaurants are open, but little ones can't be. I don't know. It's just weird. Okay, so you're just going to align this, and I'm going to tell you that your black outline will not match up with the color. This is, remember, kind of a watercolor type look. There's not dyes for this. Now, you could just stamp this direct, but I fussy cut this all out. And I just thought it gave it a little more dimension. But I also wasn't going to make a painting out of it. But I kind of like the way, see how your color is going to come out of the outline, okay? So, but I liked how I glued it down and it just gave it a little more depth by like layering. And I will tell you, I did a little bit of a shadow around this, and I'm really not liking that, so I'm not going to do that. But, so anyway, there's that. And now we're going to do our outline of our leaves. So ink that up really good. And again, I just try to make sure I get the most of my leaves that, you know, they're green, but they do not have to. I'm really trying not to get my head in the way, sorry. I know, Linda, really? And then they'll take your, because when I first went to a store to try something on, they said, oh, you can't try it on. And I'm like, but I can take it home, try it on. It's in my home now, and I can bring it back and you'll exchange it. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm like, okay. The only thing I could think of about that is that they need to keep control of what needs to be resanitized or sprayed, or, you know, whatever's been outside of the store. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and do our little leaves while we're right here. So we have our apple. I did 3 little leaves. So we'll just do those right here. 1, 2. Remember, we're fussy cutting these out. There's no die, so you can go fairly close. It's not a big deal. You just want to use your space and make sure your flower stem's not going to go there, but I think we're good right here. I don't need my granny apple anymore. Oh, I'm just going to put a hummingbird right there. I was all about, I dress casual, you guys. I'm going to say this is my job. I get to work from home. I'm very, very lucky. I've been in the legal field for a long time, and then I did dental way, way long ago. And then I ended up doing dental again because my husband, I didn't want to do law anymore. I was so tired of being in law. And he said, well, do what you want. And I loved working in the dental field. The patients are just so nice, and I just really liked working with people. And so I enjoyed doing that. And, but now I'm lucky enough to be able to do Stampin' Up! As my business. And so I'm casual. I see people dressing up all the time, and I'm like, yeah, no, I mean, I do, but I like to be casual. Tashana, hi, welcome. All right, so I have Rococo Rose, and I have Mango Melody. I love Mango Melody. That, if you guys know, I use that a lot. All right, so I'm moving all my stuff out of the way here. I know I've got a lot going on. Let me try and clear it up a bit, because you're like, wait, where's your project? Okay, here we go. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we're going back to the daubers. So I'm going to find my Rococo Rose. And remember, I don't move these around. It would be nice to move the ones I'm going to use up front, but I don't, because they will, underneath, they get the color on my little thing here. So here's the Mango Melody, and Rococo Rose is a new one. So my old one was old. All right, so I use the Mango Melody first because it's the lighter color. Oh, you know what? No, let me show you an easier way, because this is what I did, and this is why I couldn't find my thing. I'm going to ink this up first because it's mostly all the Rococo Rose, okay? And then what I do is I take a baby wipe and I come in and I just kind of go and wipe the centers out. That's all I did. And then you just pick up your mango, and I just kind of wipe it off on the corner just to make sure it stays mango and doesn't have too much Rococo. Got a huff on it. Remember, we've got a stem that's going to be attached. So we're going to make sure it's on the paper. Okay, so there's your flower. That's what I did, because it's mostly Rococo, and so you could use your daubers if you want. It really is a cute free set. So let me tell you guys, while I'm getting my ink on the black one, what's going on here. A couple things. I'm having a special right now. It's for December. Any order that you put in that is $50 or more, you will go into a drawing for a Darling Donkey set. The card above is a card I created. You can find that on my blog or on my YouTube videos. And then in January, if you put in a $50 order, you can earn the free Oso Ombre paper, which I created that card with. It is in the sale-a-bration, yes. So this is all starting January 5th. All right, so any order $50 or more, you're going to a drawing for our donkeys. Keep in mind that this starts January 5th, but if you decide to become a demonstrator, you can order these things and put them in your kit, and then you can go back online and order all of the new items that are available to demonstrators now, which is everything I'm showing. So, all right, so then we're going to take the flower, and again, I'm hoping my head doesn't get in the way. I'm going to kind of turn so I can try not to. And just kind of angle. Okay, my head's going to probably get in the way, you guys. I got to see this. You're going to kind of angle. Just make sure you've got most of your flowers on color. And then stamp. Okay, so you're going to see the flowers are all, I mean, there's no way that black is going to align with the flowers. But we're going to fussy cut them out anyway. And don't worry, I did the fussy cutting already, except these little leaves. These are the only ones I didn't fussy cut. So I will fussy cut the rest of these later. And through magic, I have our leaves, our bird, and our flowers. Now, what's interesting is if you look at the card, you're going to notice how vibrant they look here. And they're not as vibrant over here. So we're going to change that. Although this one did stamp a little darker than this guy. I probably just smushed it down a little farther. But that's okay. You're going to really see how these are going to come to life. So let me fussy cut our leaves really quickly. And be careful when you do these. It's really thin, like right here. So you can see it's kind of floppy a little bit. So just be careful of that. But the way we're going to put them down and everything is not going to be a problem. You could put those on double-sided adhesive since we're going to layer them all down, but I wouldn't worry about it. They'll glue enough down. All right, so I'm just going to cut out my leaves. I love this set. It was a free one. It was I love hummingbirds, but it didn't have dies, of course, and I'm more of a die kind of stamp set girl. And so when I got it, I was like, well, I'm going to get it because it's, free. And with as much as I order, I was able to get, the other items already in the sale-a-bration. So I was like, well, I'll get it. And then when my friend said, you know, can you make something with that? It's actually my downline. And I said, yeah, I'll make something with it. So I did, and now I'm loving it. I'm a die diva. Me too. I love dies. I'm more of a punch diva. I like punches a lot too. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are done with our daubers. We are going to, let me set those aside. I'm going to bring this in for our stamp set and see what sentiment. I think I'm just going to put hello friend. So let's look at how big this is. And this is what I like about polymer. So we can bring this out. And now I'm going to open up my little blank labels from Mini Messages. And I like both of these. I'm not so much a scallop person. I don't mind them, but I'm kind of more of a, I think I'm going to go with that one. But this is what's kind of nice is you can just lay these right over and see what fits on what and what you want. Another thing what's nice is see how you've got the, I don't know if you can see, there's perforated, I hate that word, little lines right there. Well, you can use this in a solid color and then cut those off on the white and put your sentiment on there, and then you have a background with a different color. And same with this one. I know it's really hard to see on the camera, but this one too has the perforations on it. And so there's a lot you can do with these that are really fun. I've got ink all over my fingers. Okay. So anyway, I like the idea of doing this. This is, I think, going to work out really well for me. Now what I did is I added, let's see, did I bring that out? I added this. Hi, Cheryl. So the little fluttery spots, I chose this one. Let's see. And to tie in some of the Rococo Rose, I'm going to, you know what, I do the sentiment first. I don't know why. I think the sentiment first just, oh, that's a big stamp. It just, I don't want to do the ink on top of ink with the black. I just prefer to do the sentiment first. So we're just going to put that there. Oh, is it right? No, it's this way. And I'm just going to say hello, friend. Now I'm looking at the hello because the friend is kind of cursive-y. So I'm going to look at the hello and make sure it's straight. Line it up on my line. All right. There we go. And now I'm going to take the Rococo Rose with the little flutter specks. I'm going to stamp off once and then stamp on. And then stamp off and then just stamp across. So it's just kind of ties in. It just, instead of just a white label, it just gives it a little bit more. So we're going to do that. All right. So now it's time to bring in our piece here. Remember, this is kind of our sky. Let me grab something that I want. Okay. So what I did is I kind of think about where you're going to put stuff, and I want as much of the flower as I can. You want to make sure you have room for your bird, and he can be fluttering. He can be up off the edge. His little beak could be into the flower, and I think that was the best way to get most of the flowers. And you want to put your flowers on top of your leaves. So let's put that first, and then I tuck this. I tucked it like underneath, so you can tuck it wherever you want. So I kind of did the flower. I think I did the leaves more hanging down is what I did. That's what I did. And then put that up there. So it's just kind of wherever you think, kind of just arrange it how you want it. I'm going to bring this down more. And you know what I did is I think I added a little bit of green on here, but I kind of like the blue, like it's going to be in the sky. So I'm going to do this one a little bit different. All right, so I think I'm going to put my, because my flowers are behind, I'm going to just do, you know what, the best thing to do is bring your silicone mat in so you can get your glue, your adhesive everywhere you want. Okay, so we're going to just kind of get it on there the best you can. It doesn't have to be all over. And my thing is running out here. Oh yeah, it's totally running out. All right, well, we're going to try and get the flower on with it. Nope, it's red. All right, let me grab another one. Okay, we're going to switch to the plus. All right, we're going to make sure it's on there. I like to do the stem too, but the stem's not going to work so much with the plus. So let me grab my other one. Sorry. Oh, look, that one's red too. All right, we are opening another. We'll just go with this one. I don't even have to refill. It's already there. Okay, so here we go. So you're going to get your adhesive all over your project. And of course I shouldn't have ran my very first run on my flower, but there we go. Okay. And I'm going to see where my hummingbird's going to go. So we're going to have him like right there. And then I'm good having the flower like right there. Okay, so we're just going to lay that down. Let's do our green. And it doesn't have to be all over. I just like it on each piece so that I make sure that it's going to lay down. And you'll see why in a minute. And now I'm trying not to rip my leaves because they're sticking to me. Okay. And now I'm going to bring my leaf in, and I want it to kind of hang downward. Let's see. I am going to cut the stem off a little bit because I want it to hide under my leaves. Okay, so just kind of get it where you want it. All right, and now for the little leaves, I just use dimensional or glue dots. Is there a set called Stitch So Sweetly? There's a die set. Let me see. I think it's So Sentimental die set goes with Stitch So Sweetly. I mean, So Sentimental stamp set goes with Stitch So Sweetly die set. I think that's how it works. I'd have to look in my catalog to make sure, but I think that's how it works. Okay, so I'm going to put all 3 of my little leaves. I don't want to lose them. And we're going to just grab one. And what I did is just kind of, it's just all you're doing is filling in your spots. And so take your pointy tool of whatever kind you have. You take a pick or whatever, and I'm just kind of sticking my leaf, just kind of filling up little spots. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then let's see what this one looks like. 3 up here. Okay, there you go. And now we're going to do our hummingbird. All right, just make sure you have adhesive on his beak. And I want it all the way on the tips of his, because that's way on the top corner of the card. And we're just going to stick that lightly to make sure you've got the angle that you want. Okay, and I'm good with that. All right, so there is that. We're going to cut this off. Anything extra. All right, so there is our little art piece. Now what we're going to do is we are going to put it in our embossing folder. And I'm going to run it through, and I did bring out my machine. I'm kind of trying to reorganize my desk a little bit. I know, it's a scary thought. All right, I'm just going to bring it to the side here because it slides on the paper. And we're just doing the embossing. Oh, and for those of you that are on my blog is marciebeseckerdesigns, and I noticed last week that everything was centered that came out in the mail. It looked fine on my blog, but on the mail thing, it came out centered. And this went through so smoothly that I thought that I had the wrong sandwich, but look. Okay, so there is our image. All right. So while we're right here, we're going to quickly emboss and do this one. So what I did is I took the soft seafoam, all right, and I wanted to do that image first. Let me find my paper here. See, I lost my paper already. All right, hold on. Oh, here it is. Nope, that's the inside. Well, that's funny. Okay, let's pull out another one. So the back panel is just 4 by 5 1/4. So we are going to ink up our embossing folder. And I'm going to ink up on the top side. I like to just lay it down and get as much as you can on there. All right. I lay it on the bottom so you don't have to worry about it sliding around on the ink. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slowly just close the ink, and now we're going to run this through. And again, we're just adding some texture and some layer. I found my paper that I couldn't find. I picked this up and it was attached to the inside. Oh, okay. Well, at least I know I'm not crazy, and I knew I had it somewhere. All right. So here is our piece. So we just added our color on there. And it will lighten up. You can tell on my other one how light it is. Let me just wipe my embossing folder off here and get all the ink off. Okay, so now that's done. We're going to let that just set aside and dry. And now we're going to move back to this piece here. And this is going to be a lot of fun. So we want it to look like a painting. And so what we're going to do is we are going to add embossing powder. So I have my embossing powder right here, my clear. I take my spoon out. And we are going to take, I always bring in something else to work on here. And we're going to take our Versamark and we are going to turn it over straight to paper. Okay, and just ink it up really good. And you want to kind of squish because remember, you want to get all around your images that you added on there. All right. So just kind of really get it inky. I'm looking at it at an angle. Just make sure it's all has Versamark. Now I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to pick up right here on top of the paper. So if it doesn't get any, it's not as noticeable as on your solid color. Okay. And just shake it all on there. All right, and then we're gonna, let's hold on to it and tap it. Oh, face down, there it goes. All right. Move that out of the way. Okay, so you can tell right here where this little branch is it's sticking up a tiny bit, but that's okay. Watch what we're going to do. We're going to hold that down. We're going to start our heat tool. And then I'm just going to take this. No, I think I'm going to hold it up. Whoop. So just pick a spot. And I like to go to a corner first. And I'm going to go where that leaf is sticking up. And now I did a little heat on it, and I'm just going to stick it down. And it'll stick right into that embossing powder. So don't worry about that. It just was so thin right there, I didn't put adhesive. And so I'm going to do this corner first so I can hold it by here. I just like to have more control by holding it versus holding it with a tool. And I could have cut that white out right there, and I didn't, but that's okay. I'm going to put my ribbon and stuff over that anyway, but that's up to you if you want to do that. Okay, so this corner's cool. You don't want to pick it up right away after you do this because it's going to be hot. And so you don't want, number one, your fingerprint stuck in there. And number two, you want it to have that shiny finish. But look how vibrant those colors are becoming now. Okay, so now I can, oh, there's a corner over here I missed. And you can tell because it's kind of, you know, dry looking. So just make sure you get everything So this just kind of reminded me of, you know, you go to art gallery and you see all the paintings and they look, a lot of them look wet, like there's wet paint. All right. Okay, so there is our painting. So super, super simple. The secret is too to have your clear embossing powder in a larger container. It just makes it so much easier. All right, so we're going to set that aside. Let me wipe this off here. Let me find my towel. All right, let's get any powder off. Okay, so now we're going to bring this in. And now another thing is we're going to take, I'm going to pull this back in. And now we're going to bring in our gilded foil, which is like air, and our heat and stick powder. Now I'm going to heat my heat and stick powder in a container. I have this old heat and stick powder that we used to have, but it's a little, it kind of, I actually borrowed this from somebody because I gave mine away a long time ago when we didn't carry it anymore. And I think it might have been in the garage or just, I'm not sure what the conditions were, but it's kind of, it's, well, you can't really tell, but it's really firm. It's a little more firm and it doesn't just spread as easily. So I don't know what the conditions were and I'm not quite sure. Mine wasn't like that and this one's not like that. So, but I'm still going to keep it in a bag just to keep any moisture or anything. I think it's a little bit differently treated than regular embossing powder. So here's our heat and stick. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. You're going to treat it like embossing powder as far as the use of it. We're going to take this Versamark. Now, what I did on this one is you're going to take a block and you're going to put it on your, I'm going to squish it, wow. I'm going to squish it down, which side? This one, in my Versamark, and then I just rolled over the top, okay? And I think instead of rolling, I think I would pat it down because I kind of wanted a little more gold than I got on that one. You could just put your whole pad on there, but I would think that it would be a little too much. So just take your block because your block's going to stay on the evenly on the raised layers for the most part, except maybe on the edges because it's flat there. Okay, so we're going to just do this. Okay, and we're going to say that's good. We're going to take this and I am going to actually pull this piece in. And put this on. And I have to tell you that this has an odor to it, so don't get freaked out. It does have, I don't even know how to explain the odor. It's not paint, but something kind of like that, I guess. Like you would think that you were in the garage and there was some kind of a liquid or something being used. You could tell that something's different. So just be prepared. I wouldn't leave it open. It's not terrible, but it's definitely there. All right. So I'm going to put that aside. Now, the other big secret that I would say, well, let me heat this first and then I'll show you. So, And so what this does is it's going to dry like embossing powder, but it's going to just be a little sticky, a little tacky, which is why it's heat and stick. And so it's just going to go wherever my embossing, my block was, with a little bit of Versamark, so it's not a whole lot. But it's just going to add, you know, another little layer of something to the card, and I thought it would be fun. All right, so I think I got it all heated. So what I did is this was the Tag Buffet box. I'm going to keep that right now as my gilded foil box. I'm going to drop that inside, and you can see how puffy and airy this is, okay? It will go everywhere. And so watch when I open this. Keep a little part of your sponge, and that's going to be what you're going to burnish it in. But see how airy this is? So some people like to just take pieces out, and some people like to, you know, just kind of pour some on. I'm kind of in between. Like, I will put some on here, but I'm not crazy about having to make it all stick, and I'll show you what I do. So I'm thinking that's going to be enough. So I try to put it on the larger pieces, but you see how airy that is? That will just go everywhere. So be careful and don't sneeze. And then I wipe off as much as I can into my little box. And now I just kind of take your pieces and kind of, you'll see how they start to stick where the powder is at, but there's going to be powder like all over, and it's hard to see, especially on this type of project because it's embossed, and I can see spots here and there. Okay, so once you get that done, and there's probably other spots, so what we're going to do is lay it in there, and then you're going to take your sponge and just lightly go over it, and so it's going to take the excess off, but it's going to leave your other on there. Okay, but it's going to also move what you have in here onto the other sticky spots. And like I said, this technique is not a whole lot because it's on top of, it's with a flat block, but you can see it's more than you think. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe it off. Okay, once it's stuck, it's going to stay. So you're just kind of wiping, oh, let's see. You're just kind of wiping all the other sticky away. Let's see if I can pull it up. There we go. Without the camera, maybe a little bit better. There you go. So it's just a matter. Now we could just take it and go with the pad if you wanted, and it would just add a whole bunch more. So you're just going to carefully close it, because see how it just blew all over? And you'll be sparkling for the rest of the day. All right. So I'm just going to wipe this off. My husband always laughs because for the rest of the day there'll be glitter in the house or dimensions, you know, the dimensional sticky things or whatever. I'm like, yep, that's how it is. All right, so now we're ready and we can adhere our painting. And so then you can decide, like, I think I'm going to cut down this piece just a little bit more. Hi, Liz. So I'm just going to sliver it down, and it just depends because you can do, like, my first card, what I did is I did the image and then I cut it down because I started it out with being a full-size card. This was going to be full-size, and then I really liked the idea of kind of turning it into a painting. So it's kind of whatever, you know, you end up deciding. But I really want to see a little more of the green on the background, I think. So I think I'm just going to keep cutting this a tiny bit more. And I'm not keeping an eye on the size. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, because I know I have plenty of space to do some cutting, and so I think I'm good with that. So, and Kathy, I haven't forgotten the ribbon, so don't let me forget. I'm about to do the ribbon on this right here. So we're going to do liquid, because you know I like to do liquid if it's an embossed piece. I just think it gets in the grooves a little easier, a little better. So we are going to, there we go. So now we have a painting piece. We did some gold foil. And I know I've been talking about, I'm just going to hear these together, but I wanted to show you this really quick about joining Stampin' Up! If you decide. It says join now, but I'm saying January 5th now, because you can get 200 sheets of 6x6 DSP. And what it is it's all the colors, the in colors. You'll get 5 packages. And that's another thing in the little catalog. There's a typo. It's 5 packages, not 6. And, but you get all different DSP or of colors. So you'll get all those designs. So it's a DSP, but you'll get all those colors that'll coordinate with all of our other DSPs and papers and that kind of thing. So that's an awesome deal. And you can, if you choose to join, you can also, right now, demonstrators are able to purchase that. So, all right, so there is our piece that we're going to do that. Now, the first one I did, like I said, I did Rococo Rose with a blend because I wanted to kind of tie in the Rococo Rose. But I mean, it's okay, I like it, but I wanted to do something a little more earthy, I think. So I chose to do this ribbon here. I love this braided ribbon. So I'm going to do, I wasn't going to do a triple bow, but I think I will. So I'm going to do a triple bow. So you're going to hold your finger here and you're going to do an 8. 1, 2, 3. So that is your 3. You have 3 over here and you're going to have 3 over here because this doesn't count. So count what goes around your finger. Okay, so that's 3, and then we're going to go over. So I want this long enough to go around. So you're going to go around and then back through over this way. Okay, so that's your bow. So let me do it one more time. You're going to hold this back on your second knuckle here. And you're going to go around one, you're going to go over the top and you're going to crazy 8 it. And this is the gauge of how big your bow is. So 1, 2, 3, and then go all the way across. And then at this point, you're just looking at this right here. Okay. And you want it to go underneath because you want it to make a knot. And then you pull it towards you because this is where your other tail is at. Okay, so there is your bow. All right, and I think I'm just going to do I want to pull it over? Let's see. So now we decide, do we want to pull it over or do we want to let it dangle? I think we're going to let it dangle and fluff those up because you guys know I like to do that. So we can go ahead now because we're not going to tie it around. we can go ahead and put that, we're going to pop this up on top of our panel. And I like to put them all the way around the outside and then in the center when it's this big of a rectangle or square. And I'm just going to put one like that. All right. But first, you're welcome, Kathy. I hope that helped. All right, let's go ahead and put this on. Oops. How do you guys like that gilded foil? It's a lot easier. I mean, you'll get used to it. It's a little messy, but it's totally worth it. And my next project, well, I don't know if it's my next one, but one of my next projects I will use more of it because I want to see more. All right, so this is just going to be like a hello friend card. Me too, Kathy. All right, so we're going to add this. Now I'm going to take a look at this, and there's a lot of gold down here, which is what I want because our picture is going to cover this up. So I think I want it to go this way. All right, now we can take these off. Can all of the brushes off gold be reused? Can all of the brushes? It would, Kathy. I think that would look really pretty. Stephanie, I'm not sure what you're saying. Can all of the brushes off gold be reused? All right, so we're going to put this there. And then I'm going to adhere this here, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it right now. We're going to take this off first, and I like them a little longer. We're going to add dimensionals on our little guy here, or sentiment. And we're just going to add that right about there. And now I'm going to, you know me, I'm going to fray this. Turn that so you have more gold leaf in showing. Yeah. So what I did is I turned it, I put the more gold leafing down here at the bottom, whereas I had less at the top. And then I'm going to put this up here. The dimensional is optional. And yes, you could actually trim this down and make it much smaller. I think this would be cool if it was in an oval and then really blinged up the back and you can see the gold more. But I like that it's just there so you can be like, oh, what's that? You know, you can tell it's not embossing just the way the foil is. So I'm going to loosen this up. I did too, Kathy. I used to use the gold foil quite a bit, actually. I have, I still have some. I like that this is all gold. Exactly, Renee. Um, that's all right. Just leave it in that box because I pull up the pieces that are in there first and I put it on top of my project and then I add more when I need it and I just leave that in there. You don't have to try to dump that back in your jar. Just leave it in your box because you will reuse that. Oh, the brushed off gold. I get it, Steph. Thank you for clarifying that, Renee. I, I hope that's how you say your name. Um, I get it. Yes, you just leave it in the box and then reuse it. Yes. All right, so I kind of did that, frayed that a bit. I kind of like that. I kind of liked if it would have been around too. I don't usually just put a bow by itself. I like to tie it on. That's okay. We're going to leave it like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a glue dot first. We're going to get that on where I want it, which is about right there. And then I take liquid glue. I just want to make sure this is not going anywhere, and because it's on top of embossing, I just want to make sure it stays. So I'm just going to add a little bit on each side. Just a little bit of liquid. All right. So there is our card. Card number 1, card number 2. So you can just see how this one was a lighter stamped image. But look how this one is, well, and I did this outline in gray right here, just like as a shadow, and I didn't like how it came out. I like how clean and crisp this one looks. And the flowers just get vibrant, you know, everything when you add the embossing on it. And I didn't even add stones or anything to it. I did take our new matte black ones, and I added them on, but I didn't like them. So I took them back off. I just didn't like how they looked. So a lot of techniques in it, but really, it's not that hard. It's just a little time consuming. It was a lot of fun. And on something like this too, if you're going to do multiples, I would sit down, do all your stamping and then fussy cutting, or you do not even have to fussy cut these out. You could I just liked how everything was layered, but you could mask, or you could just layer on top of each other. You could take these leaves off and just move these down next to it. Take the ink off of the stamp of the stem there, and that's where your leaves will go. So there's a lot of stuff you could do and not fussy cut. You could just stamp these all right onto the project. I think the black beak would go straight over the flowers without a problem. And so you could make this work, I think, without doing any fussy cutting if you don't want to do fussy cutting. Thank you, Cheryl. I would really appreciate it if you guys would share, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Please leave a comment. Let me know how you liked it, what you liked, what you want to see. If there's other projects you're interested in seeing, let me know. I do have a lot from the new catalog, and I have some other things coming. So I would love to do that. You're welcome, Olivia. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Kathy. So this was a lot of fun. Don't forget, the new catalogs are coming out in January. They are being shipped. If you were on my mailing list, if you are a customer, they are going out on the 8th or the 9th. I think the 9th they're being shipped. But on the 8th, a huge sale is coming. So make sure you look at my blog. It'll be posted a little later today. If you're not on my blog, it's marciebeseckerdesigns.com. So let me get that information for you. If you are not on my blog, go there, subscribe. You're going to get information there. Again, subscribe and share and like. I appreciate that. But my blog here, let me grab the right one. Go there and you're going to get on this next blog the last couple of videos I did, including the hauls, and it'll show all the links for the videos will be there and some information. The specials of the upcoming sale. Felicia, you're welcome. Barbara, Renee, thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Francie. And thank you, Carol. And so don't forget. Now, the one thing I want to say about the sale that's coming up on the 8th, if you guys could use my host code, that would be fantastic. But what I wanted to tell you is it starts the 8th. Not everything is on sale, but if you go to my blog, in about an hour, I should have it posted, and you'll see a list of stuff that's retiring, and then and I have just the English version. So if you're French, I don't have that listed on my blog, but you will, some items are not on sale. It's going to tell you what's leaving. So if it's on sale, it's leaving on this particular page. And this is the holiday catalog only. Now, that being said, there are going to be items on there that are hot, hot items. And I can tell you right now that people are already buying them because experience shows that sale day comes and they're gone. So yes, you may save a few dollars, but you're not going to get it if it's already gone. So keep that in mind. That's really important because I've done that myself, thinking I'll just wait till sale day. I'll get on there super early and grab it, and it's already gone because people know it's leaving. And once it's gone, it's gone. It doesn't matter if it was on sale or not. If it's gone, it's gone. Yes, Stephanie, I got that. Yeah. Yeah, just leave it in your box and you can reuse it. So that is one of the things I want to tell you is if you want to wait for the sale, that would be great if you can get on sale price, but it's not guaranteed. These are items that are while supplies last. Once they're gone, they're gone. So just keep that in mind, please. I don't want you to miss out on something that you really want. Again, don't forget that December, I will have the Darling Donkeys in a drawing for any order $50 or more. And so that will be for December. Then on the left side here, the So Ombre paper, with any $50 purchase, you can get that for free among other items available to choose from. But that is what I use to create this cute little Darling Donkey card. So you will go into a drawing in December if you purchase from me. And then in January, when you purchase $50, you can get the ombre. Now, that in mind, there's a lot of awesome items, including this Touch of Ink is also a sale-a-bration item. And I think I can't show you the catalog, but let me show you. I think it is a $50 level item. So there's two different levels. There's the $50 level, which the donkeys are in, and the So Ombre paper is in. Actually the Touch of Ink is $100. So if you purchase $100, you can in product, you can get the Touch of Ink set here. If you do $150 in sales, you can get a Touch of Ink and the ombre paper, and or the donkey. So it just is a mix-up for those that don't understand sale-a-bration. I'll explain it to you. It's super simple. If you purchase $200 in items, you can get 4 $50 items in the sale-a-bration, and you can get duplicates. So if you want 2 of the donkeys, 1 of the ombre paper, that kind of thing. Or you can get 2 of the $100 listed items, which is a Touch of Ink, and then there's some other really great things in there. Or you can get one of the 100 and 3 of the 50. That's just however it all works out. That's what you can purchase, which is really cool. So if you go to my blog, on the right hand side it says my online store. You can click that and it'll take you right to my shop. So I would love it if you'd go over and subscribe to marciebeseckerdesigns.com. Right below that is always my current host code. And so if it is January and that still says December, then you still use that code. I probably still haven't just closed the party yet, but I usually close it right away. Oh, Carolyn, welcome. And yes, the brushes are amazing. I love them, love them. So this is an older photo. Obviously, the one posted tonight on my blog is going to be a lot of updates on my last couple videos and some specials. At the top there, it says join my team. If you want to go take a look and see what that entails, you can just go there and kind of read a little bit about it. and I will answer any questions. Just let me know. My email is Marcie at marciebeseckerdesigns.com. And you can go to the about/contact there also and contact me. Now, on my blog on the right-hand side below my shopping and my code, you can see the current catalogs. Just click on them. They're PDF. You can go page by page and look through them. There's the annual catalog is there and the holiday catalog is there. As soon as we are able to post the new mini and the sale-a-bration catalogs, the holiday will come down because it will no longer be available, and the other ones will go up. Now, on my blog today, I will be posting a PDF link of items that will be going on sale on the 8th. So take a look at that. Maybe jot some numbers down of what you're interested in and come back and visit on the 8th, or don't miss out on them and come as soon as you can and get those. So that, I think, is it. I'm looking at all my little information here. And here's just a close-up a little bit. It's a really shiny card. They were a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Yeah, I like it's just a lot lighter stamping. I blended these a little bit more and I made them a little darker, not realizing how dark it comes out when I put the embossing powder over it anyway. So that kind of helped that whole thing. And I like this ribbon. I even think wrapping it around and just tying it in a knot and leaving the fray down would be kind of cool too. I mean, there's so many things you can do with stuff like that. But, well, I am off to create my live video for not my live video, my recorded video for my Snowflake Splendor online class. So I'll be doing that. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I will see you on Tuesday. Next week, not this coming week, but the following week, my daughter will be here and my granddaughter. So we're excited, my son-in-law. And so I will probably jump on. It probably won't be scheduled. It just depends on when they're going to go visit other family and friends. And so I will be posting on my Facebook page, Marcie Besecker Designs. So if I'm going to go live on a weird time that's not scheduled, I'll post it over there and let you know. So if you can go over to there, that's where you'll get some updates of different times that I'll be coming live. I'd love to see you guys join me, and maybe I'll get to do a video with my granddaughter again. How fun would that be? All right, everybody, you guys have a fantastic day. I would love your business. Just hop on over to my blog, marciebeseckerdesigns.com. Check it out, and I will talk to you guys really soon. Have a great rest of your weekend.